this is the judgment is in my mind. I need to be curious. I need to find out more information. I need to open my mind. It's a conscious effort I need to do to open my mind. And in somewhere in my brain where the noise is, I've got to ignore it. I got to sort of let it be for some time and say, let me listen to what the other person has to say. Let me find out what is it that they are saying. There must be something different that I know from what I know, because otherwise, otherwise I know everything. What is that fact? What is that data? What is that information that your stakeholder is holding that you don't know? There could be anything. There could be some experience they've had. There may be some knowledge they have. They maybe have read something that may be something new. Why don't you listen to that? Open your mind and get connected to that. Then there is empathic listening. It is not just data or figures that's important. You need to listen from within their eyes, from within their shoes, from, like what is it that how do they perceive a situation? When you see a situation, there's a way you perceive it. There's an interpretation you make up. Similarly, when they see data, they have some interpretation. There is something they see. I mean, all human beings are different. You and your spouse are different. You see something like this and you think it's romantic, and your spouse says this is not romantic, this is boring. Like each person sees things from their space in a different way. Again, here you need to be able to find some way to put aside your cynicism, some way to put aside what you think, and with open heart, listen to what they have to say. So I'm going to stop here. I want to stop here because otherwise it will just become totally boring. So I'd like to do something which maybe you have not done before. I'd like you to take a paper and a pen, or in somehow speak out some of your important stakeholders whom you need to speak to find out what does your customer need you for. Please speak their names, write their names down, something. And some of you could share with me at least one person that you identified who is your stakeholder. So you could all put on your videos, okay? Because I can't see anybody except AD. AD is the only courageous man. Yeah, thank you. So identify stakeholders. Who are your customers, external customers, internal customers, whom you want to know, what does my customer need me for? It could be your boss. It could be your next boss. It could be anyone that you consider as a stakeholder. Who's a customer? External customer, internal customer, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's there is one of my partner pop up in my mind.
Yes.
Yeah, business partner. Yeah.
Yeah. Think of some more stakeholders, because there are. So for you to achieve your vision home, who are the critical stakeholders who can help you achieve your vision?
To achieve my vision, right?
Yes. Say, what do you want to achieve in the next 6 to 9 months or 1 year?
Yeah.
If you wanted a certain results, who are those stakeholders whom you want to catch?
Okay.
So one you got, very good. One name you got, very good. Now let's look at some more. 2, 3, 4. And write it down if you can.
Yeah, my employees, my Karuna Karyakartas.
Yes, that's one. Who else? Who else?
My board of directors. My board of
Okay, board of
directors.
directors. Yes. Now look external, Baswa. There are 50.
External are donors.
There are 50 big, huge organizations in massive, big monster organizations in your Davangere district. Can you identify 5
Yeah.
people?
Yes.
5 big businessmen.
Yes.
You've got to write their names, get the details. Okay, this is not a generalization conversation, because each customer is different. What your external donor needs you for, what does your internal person need you for, what does your board member need you for, is totally different. So identify that. Yeah, very good. Somebody else?
Veena here, Vivek.
Yes, Veena.
It's a Soumya who works in Amazon actually.
Yes.
And I am going for a job change. This lady, I spoke with her 1.5 years back, and I gave her a resume, but something did not work out. She is in some authority place where she can send my resume to different, codes they have. They have data analytics and few codes they have for a job. Like
Yes.
a few people can send only one per.
So one person you identified, Soumya.
Yeah.
What does Soumya need you for?
Only I know I need her for.
You only know what you need her for.
She
But
don't
if
even
doesn't-
remember me.
If she doesn't need you for something, she's not going to be your customer. She's not going to buy
Yeah.
anything from you.
Yeah.
I
I don't know. She don't even remember me now.
That's all happening downloading.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But identify more. Identify more people like that.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, not one name. I need 10 names.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Somebody else.
That's a good point, actually, what Veena brought in. I was always thinking internal, external customers, but one of the main key point is the candidates also. They're also my customers.
Yes.
Because
Very
without
important.
candidates, we can't fulfill the requirement from the customers.
What does the candidate who you want to hire and work in
Right.
your company, what does he need you for?
Yes.
And
He's
for me,
got so many companies. Why should he come to me first of all?
yeah, I need
Yeah.
Ravi Gupta. Ravi Gupta also, my customer
Yeah.
now.
So why would Veena come to me? So she
Yeah.
never came to me for a customer. So even I didn't treat her as a customer.
Absolutely. We treat people who come for interviews from the 1980s and 1990s as, you know how we treated people, Ravi. You know that world, right? People who want to come for a job to you, we treated them like horribly.
Yeah.
Anyway, good. This is opening up something. Yes, somebody else. What have you identified some stakeholders? Pallavi, Shraddha, Kaushik, Edi, Usha, anyone?
Yeah, there
Kaushik.
is one. Yeah, I have two. One is basically a production company, a gaming
Yeah.
company where I know one company, a new person who I just got linked in through LinkedIn. I know he responded, he found my profile interesting, but then actually I've sent him my resume and then they said that currently some positions are not available. I'll get back to you in June. I already got the communication as well.
Yes.
But I need
But
to
you
keep
don't
in
know
touch.
what he needs you for.
Yes, exactly. Because
Or what does he need? What does he need? Maybe he doesn't. He needs you. Even he doesn't know whether you can give him what he needs. But you don't know what he needs.
Yeah. No, they had put some job descriptions, like 4 or 5 job descriptions, sir, which was more on project management and managerial role rather than creative roles. That much I was clear for.
Yeah, I get that. But the thing is this: how we've operated till now from the past, learning from the past, is somebody has a job, send your resume, and that's done.
Yeah.
But today the world is changed. You need to find out what do they really need. They just put some 4 words out there. This job or this project manager, or what is their real need? and get into the details, get connected to them.
Yeah.
And not only
But they-
this person, not only this
Mm.
person. I mean, there are so many other organizations, so many other people who you want to meet.
Mm.
I
There
mean,
are
if you
other
had a
colleges
dream
are-
job, Kaushik, if
colleges
you had
are
a
also
dream job, which
Mm.
would be your dreamest job? Which company? Which organization?
Yeah, gaming and education.
Are there any organizations, any names that come to your mind?
Right now there are some. I had just connected it. I just don't remember the name.
Zynga.
Okay,
Just
fine.
check
You can
it.
always Google it, right? You can always
Zynga.
Google
Yeah,
it and find.
Zynga
Yeah.
is one
Go-
I can think of.
Yeah, Zynga
Yeah.
is there, and there is just couple of gaming companies.
Right. And then now the way to get to know what do they need, Kaushik, for, you got to get into their head. Open your
Mhm.
mind, open your heart and get into their head. Ask them. You get that?
Yeah. Got it.
Identify the people, okay? Identify
Mhm.
the people. Find a way to get those people, because if you don't identify the people, it's all in the air. It's all some
Mm.
hogwash knowledge, which is making no difference to you.
Yeah. But if I'm looking for a business, I would probably take whatever. I would ask them what they need me for, what they need actually. Not
Which
only
business-
for them, but the company also. They are
Very good,
actually
very good.
representing a company.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for a job role which is different from. I mean, it should suit me also. It's like a two-way thing.
But again, you will not find out if you don't speak to them for
No,
quite
I
some
have
time.
spoken. They said its profile is good, but they don't have a creative role like that. And that too, a lot of other conversation come in. Like you said, like the downloading.
Kaushik, go to the next guy, then the next stakeholder, then the next one. There are 20 more people like that around.
Yeah.
There are 200 more companies, no?
Yeah.
Right? So identify the stakeholders as quickly as you can. Because
Mm.
that's your access, no? To find out
Mm.
what is the customer want from you.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay, good. So everybody, Pallavi, you got stakeholders identified. AD, everybody's identified stakeholders.
One question:
Yes.
when you typically say stakeholders,
Yeah.
they'll be basically within the organization. When you're saying stakeholders in this context, it is everyone around the entire universe.
Yes, your customers, external and internal. Now, you must identify your internal customers also. You must identify your external customers also.
Typically, whenever I say stakeholders, means who have like the directors and the founders and all that is what comes to my mind. But I never
Yes.
considered beyond that actually as stakeholders.
But are there any key people who need their support? Maybe they have some knowledge which you want to know.
That way, every person or every candidate is a potential customer, right?
Yes.
So there's a huge list.
Correct. Then there is the customer who you are selling or whatever services to get his world also.
Right.
Yeah. Great. So what we've done so far is we've identified some stakeholders and we've looked at open your mind and get out of your head and listen with curiosity. We said, go to the place of the other, stand in their shoes, open your heart and listen with compassion. Find some way to just see their world, see their perspective, right? And of course, what is more important than that? Finally, is to go to several places, several stakeholders, because there are many stakeholders in that area. Every customer, there will be maybe, like if you take an organization with the customer, there may be 4 people there who want something. The CEO is looking for something, the technical head is looking for something, the HR person is looking for something. You don't know who's there. Open your will and connect to more people. But when you are listening in this level 4 listening, you are not creating anything yourself. You're holding the space for some creative breakthrough. This is very important. That somehow you are being able to be without fear, but with courage in that conversation. Like the stakeholder you mentioned, it could be that lady, it could be that gentleman, it could be that person, it could be this person, whoever you looked at. Somewhere you've got to be able to find some way to set aside your fears. What are your fears when you are with that stakeholder? What have you got to lose? What are you worried about? They'll reject you. You'll say something silly. They won't approve of what you said. They won't like your idea. They'll judge you. Whatever you're afraid of, you want to remember all that is part of your downloading. It's all going on. Not that it is invalid. It is valid fear. But in the face of that fear, you've got to be able to engage with courage with those same people. You've got to find some way to calm yourself down with some practices of mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is to be fully present in the present with nothing else on your mind, and your who you are is waiting for a possibility to emerge. That in the present, you're so much mindful. You're fully present to what you're doing and doing it well, but there's nothing else there. And you're waiting for something new to emerge. That's mindfulness. So for you to have some courage and you're talking to people, you've got to find some way to silence that fear in the background, which is always there. Am I doing it right? Am I doing a good job? How will I be perceived? Anything that's on your mind, you've got to somehow breathe and breathe and breathe and keep that aside and then get engaged and find out whatever they have to say. Get their judgments, get their cynicism, get their fears. Let them say whatever is there. Because from there only will you together create whatever it is that you want to create. If you do not know your stakeholders' fears, if you do not know your customers' fears, how are you going to serve your customer? If you do not know what your customer's cynicism is, how are you going to serve that customer? Whatever is going on with the customer, you want to get all that information. And you may be afraid to get it. You may be afraid. It's okay. Find some way to keep that fear aside, let go of that fear, and somehow get connected with that person. Yeah, questions? Yes, Kaushik.
Yeah, actually, there is one thing that I've been noticing in all these interactions, that they somehow get our downloading without us saying it.
Yes.
Like they get our fears first more than what we can offer. That is the
Yes.
first thing we get. I don't know how that happens, how we create that. I think that I am doing it myself.
Yeah, I mean, you can read people, no?
Yeah.
Why do people put off their videos and stay in the background most of the time? It's because they're hiding somewhere.
Yeah, I did that.
Why do people keep quiet when they can say something and participate in programs like this? Because they're afraid they may say something or they'll miss out something or something. Everybody is you can see.
Yeah, I don't want to make a fool of myself by opening my mouth or something like that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And yes, you have to make it safe for the customer to open his mouth.
Mm.
If you went to your customer, you think you're the one who's scared of him. He's scared of you also.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think when I was interviewing, I always used to be worried whether this is the right guy or not. I had to
Yeah.
really carefully choose find out whether he's the right person or not, or whether I'll be able to judge him, if will he open up and tell me. So I used to have those conversations, how to find out the hidden truth that they have, or the hidden skills that they have,
Yeah.
which they
And
don't
all-
tell.
Yeah. Are they telling lies?
Yeah.
Is he trying to con me?
Mm.
You have got fears and they have fears. They are
Mm.
afraid of you. You are afraid of them, and then you want them to work with you. You want them to become your
Yes.
partners.
I don't want to go wrong as an interviewer.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
as an interviewee, also, I don't want to miss this chance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, relax, Veena. Breathe. Veena, breathe. You're on mute.
Yeah. Vivek, what is my question? Is my dad came, so I just went and opened the door. So, what is my question is, see, when we hear here now, okay, today night up to tomorrow morning, that is there, present. And again, it will go off, forget. So that's what is happening. It's not in existence.
Yeah. When you don't have your stakeholders in existence who you need to talk to.
That is the one. And second one is to talk to my customer, what they need, what you said now. At present, it is present. Yeah, whenever I'm talking to any of my customer, I need to look at what they need. It is present. But it is will be there tomorrow afternoon, maximum tomorrow evening. Monday
Because you're not
morning.
planning your meeting.
Okay.
You are not planning your meeting with your customer. You're going into the customer and you're like all Indians. You will create it on the spot, whatever happens. You are a jugaad master.
Okay.
In North India, we call him jugadu. In that moment, we will create anything. We don't have to prepare anything.
Preparing is
It's like
difficult.
sending your children for an examination, for their board examination, and tell them, don't worry, beta, you don't have to study. You just reach the examination, there you create whatever answer you want. That's how we go in for meetings.
Preparing is not practice and it's very difficult also.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, look, if you have an intention to
Yeah.
achieve something in your life, think a little bit, take a deep breath. How do I reach there? How do I achieve that? Who are the people I need to talk to? What all do I need to find out?
Hmm. Background preparation.
And notice, I'll share with you. I was talking to my son just now. He says, all these things are there in the mind. What are these things? I said, there are 4 things. The past, you're downloading. Your past is there. Yes?
Yeah. Yeah.
The past downloading is full of what? Judgment,
Cynicism, fear.
cynicism, fear. There's lots of judgments,
Yes.
lots of stories, lots of opinions, lots of what you call beliefs.
Yeah.
A lot of you have done the many training programs. Lots of superstitions are there in your mind
Yeah.
that you believe to be the truth,
Yeah.
all from the
Yeah.
past.
Yeah.
Then you have worries about the future,
Yeah.
fear of the future,
Yeah.
fear of failure in the future.
Yeah.
Also, you are carrying and they are also carrying.
Yeah. True.
Then you are carrying all your stories and resentments and regrets and stuff about the other people.
Yeah.
Whoever you are going to meet, they are big people, they are small people, they are it people, they are good people, they are bad people, they are evil people, they are stupid people. You've got lots and lots of stuff about those people.
Yeah.
And the biggest of all, you have got, I am not good enough. I
Yeah.
am 50-50 person. I am average person. I am
Yeah.
not 100 on 100. I am a 7 on 10. I am a 2 on 10. I am a 8 on 10.
Yes.
You have got how many stories going on about you only?
Yes.
So when will you be in the now?
Yeah. True.
Now you've got to practice that. Somehow you have to practice that. You've got to sit down and prepare and write down, okay, what is my story about myself? Let me put that aside. Write it down, put it aside, throw it in fire if you have to.
Okay.
Write it on a paper. I am not good enough. Then take it and throw it in the fire. or put it in water if you're not a fire person,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What is your story about the past? What are your things that are coming in your way? Put them down, let them go.
Yeah.
What is your what are the downloading about them? Let it go.
Yeah.
What is your downloading about the future? Let it go.
Yeah.
For anything, you have to be prepared, no?
Yeah.
So as a preparation, do some exercise. Sit down and look at your voice of judgment, cynicism, fear about all these areas and write them down, put them down and say, okay, this is my stuff which I'm holding on to, which is not letting me be present in the present. Let me put it aside. Let me get interested in somehow getting to know what they have to say.
Mhm.
Is that making sense to you all?
Yes.
Yeah. Does that answer your question, Meena?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
What's opening up in this conversation for other people? Up till now, whatever we've covered, what's opening up for you? What are you getting? What's there as something new for you, fresh for you, that you could practice or you could do?
Today only one candidate came to my office. We knew him as a technical expert, one who is very well versed in internet and other related things. But he is demanding more money, and we were not leaving him or either holding him. Also,
Yes.
whatever you said so far, lots of judgments about him, and he also has lots of judgments about us. Things went on like this. Yes, still it is not clear whether you will join us or not. I thought now after listening to you, I would be more careful to get his word and get his fears. He is ready to work as a technical expert with us, but he is not ready to work as a donation collector. He feels he is only technical, but we said no, you have to do that also, this also, because we don't have much technical work and things like that. So after listening to you, I got that even technically many things can be done. You can pay him whatever he wants, and let us explore the possibility of CSR funds and other things. As you said perfectly, I am afraid of them. He is afraid of us. He was not ready even to sit down on the chair. He was standing. Yeah, this is the situation. Yeah.
You could ask him that question also. Why are you standing? Why don't you sit down? Just ask him, like not threaten him.
Yes.
Baswa, you, in your experience, go back 35, 40 years, okay? 25 years back, go back and see when you went for interview. When you went for interview, what were your fears? And how did they speak to you? And how did they treat you in the interview? They scared the hell out of you. They badgered you with questions. Right? And then you want to become friends and partners and create co-creation. Where will we do co-creation if that is the attitude?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So, very important, we've covered voice of fear versus courage. Somehow find some space in your listening to put aside, let go of your voice of fear, complete your voice of fear, somehow find some way to let it go, and with courage, open your will and actually connect to what people are saying and what's possibly emerging, what new possibilities can emerge in your reality. So very important, you've got three enemies. If you look at all the stories, all the beliefs, all the superstitions, all the stuff that you are dealing with from the past, there are basically three types which we have identified in the youth theory, which is your voice of judgment, which is your voice of cynicism, and your voice of fear. So for you to be able to practice curiosity, compassion, and courage, you've got to have some courage to first identify what is your judgment, cynicism, and fear. So let's take some sharing from your lives. Tell me, and I'll keep quiet. What are your voice of judgment, what does your voice of cynicism and what does your voice of fear say about your stakeholder, your customer? What does your voice of fear say about your customer? What does your voice of judgment and cynicism say about your customer?
Yeah. Yes, many cynicism is yeah, we have seen so many candidates like this, he may not be useful. And fear is if he is demanding more money, and how can we pay continuously if he is not giving us any results and reward? And judgment is he seems to be very inferior, whether he can work with us. Yeah, these are the fears. He may not be capable, and once we hire, we have to pay him. This fear, all these came together.
I got it, Baswa. Let's take some more people. Hey, other people, don't let
Yeah.
Baswa and hog the whole program, okay? He's great, but you guys can also participate. Baswa has got a big heart. He's got a Karuna trust, which is he has a lot of compassion for all of you, okay? So, go ahead. What is your voice of fear? What is your voice of judgment? What is your voice of cynicism saying? It could be a lot. It's okay. Give it to me. Pallavi, go ahead.
Yes, when I speak to my patients, actually what you stated right now, I'm practicing it for many years in practice, because not like you're saying, but I always try to, because that is the first requisite of our, I'm a dental surgeon, so that is the first requisite to understand what my patient wants actually. Good aesthetics, good function of the teeth, or what does he or she wants. According to that, we plan our treatments. But when, in spite of putting for the wonderful treatment way, a very patient, what is his need, according to that we design. And when a patient, but if most of cases, but even if 10% cases, if patient does not agree with the treatment plan, then I really wonder that in spite of doing my best possible, the fear inside me speaks, is he trusting my ethical practice, or doesn't he have faith in me?
So Pallavi, I'm saying, you right now, have you asked them what do they want?
Yes, I always do.
And there's, so I'll tell, so I'm your customer. I'm your patient.
Yes.
Ask me.
Yeah.
I have something,
Yes.
my food gets stuck over here and the teeth over here.
Yes. So,
It just irritates me.
Vivek, how can we? Yes. How can we help you in the best possible? What do you want from us?
So if when you check it, you'll do the checkup, you'll see and all that, and you'll say that there's just a gap between the teeth.
No.
There's no,
Yes.
what do you call, no cavity, but it's just that the
no
teeth is
caries
like
or
that.
no cavity.
Yeah, it just there's a space and it
We
gets
check
stuck there. Yeah. So
exactly. We explain everything to the patient, and then
what can you
show
explain
him
to me?
on the
What
screen
can you
also.
do? What can you tell me? I'm your
Okay.
patient. You're still not asking me any questions. Pallavi, you're still not asking me enough questions. You don't know what I need.
No, you came to me. I asked you, yes, how can I help you? And then you tell me.
I told you I got some food gets stuck in my tooth over here.
Okay, okay. So, what do you want?
I want to stop my food getting stuck in the tooth.
What is your expectation? Okay, Vivek,
I want to.
Let me check you clinically first.
So you check clinically. I'm telling you, you will find that there is just a little gap there. Then what will you do?
Yes.
What will you say to me?
Then yes, that's it. So I actually, in such a case, I ask the patient, what is your expectation? Generally, patients say that yes, I will ask you. So what is your expectation, Vivek?
I want to
you want that food not to get lost?
Irritated free.
Yes. So we have two options. One option is to go for a crown, which is a bit invasive one, but it will really solve your problem because there is no contact in between to create that placing crowns. The
It's
other
like a cap.
option,
Is crown a cap?
yes, it is a cap.
Okay. Yeah. And the other
You
option?
may find this, yes, you may find it, this is the only solution. The other option is doing anything and you flossing that area every day.
What
That
about
is the
filling?
least.
What about a filling over there?
See, Vivek, as we don't see any caries there, doing a filling will not be ethically right because we will have to reduce the biological to structure, which is present and in sound state. And if we do that, it does not have a good shelf life also. It may get dislodged again and again.
Right. So
So these
Pallavi,
are
you
the
are
three
decided
options I
for
have
me.
stated.
Pallavi, you decided for me.
No, I have given you three choices. Now
No,
you
you
have to
said
choose
that's
the between.
some ethical business you said. I'm telling you, I went to a dentist and she gave me a filling for, I think, saying that ये try कर लो, अगर ये नहीं चलता तो बाद में फिर cap हो सकता है. उल्टा बोला मेरे को. I'm just giving you my
But
experience.
we do the things which
I'm not saying what
last.
you said is wrong.
Yes.
I'm not saying what you said is
Huh.
wrong or your expertise is wrong. I'm saying you're not getting the. See, what is my need? My need is money, maybe it may be whatever, affordability, quick, something simple. We don't know. Right?
Correct.
And if you went a little more deeper in trying to get to understand what does your customer need you for, a little more deeper, you'll get to be able to have less of these experiences.
So how to go deeper?
Asking more questions. You just asked 2 questions and I
Okay.
gave you 2 answers, but that's not enough to get my world.
Okay.
When you are curious with people, you ask people 1 question, 2 questions. Now you think I've done enough. I know what you want. But maybe you don't still know what they want or what they need from you. Maybe just go deeper.
But about treatment options, yes. But about treatment options, if there are 2 to 3 treatment options, and I have stated all
That's
the
okay.
three.
That's not the issue, Pallavi. The issue is not that. You can say treatment options, but as a patient, I don't know what that means. Like you know what that means,
Okay.
I don't know what that means. I only know this costs more money, or this is like sounding silly. You said crown. I'm asking if crown is a cap or what is it? I'm still not. I've never put a
Okay.
crown in my mouth. I've never put a cap in my mouth. I've never had a filling in my life before. Right? I
Yes.
know what you need is my downloading.
Okay.
And not that your downloading is invalid. Not that your entire education knowledge is invalid. You are a doctor, you're a dentist, you know, no doubt about it. But what is it that they need? Have they understood what you're saying?
Yes.
If they have not understood
Okay,
you
I got
as
that.
well as you want them to understand you, then kuch nahi hua.
Yes.
So, Vivek, I
Yes.
have some out here.
Just one
Like,
sec, Kaushik, just one sec. Just one sec.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example, Pallavi. I went to a school in Sanawar. It's called Lawrence School, Sanawar.
Yes.
And I asked the teachers, who is responsible for learning from you? What is the teacher responsible for? The teacher said, our responsibility only is to teach. I said, but if they didn't learn, then what's the point of your teaching? So then they went on a riot. They got very agitated. I mean, how can you make a teacher responsible for the students' learning? Imagine a teacher is not responsible for the child understanding what the teacher is teaching. Teacher said, that's not my responsibility.
Yes. Correct.
Do you like such teachers, Pallavi?
Yes, I got that.
Do you like such teachers?
No,
Do you want such teachers for your children or grandchildren or
not
anybody?
at all.
Do you want
No.
such teachers to be teaching dentistry in college? That they will just teach. तुमको समझ में आया नहीं आया, that's your problem.
Absolutely not.
So similarly, as a you are telling, as a talking to a customer, you need to get really engaged with the customer. Maybe 2 minutes more, maybe 4 minutes more,
Okay. Yes, right.
and then maybe some
Yes, I
opening
got
will
that.
be. Then miracles will. Great, Pallavi. Thank you
Yes.
for the interaction. Kaushik, go
Yes,
ahead.
thank you so much.
Actually, I just like whenever I do this inquiry with, I mean, I am a teacher myself, like a faculty, as I teach with students. The first thing I ask is like, this is the subject. So what do you want to do in that? So sometimes I get really good creative ideas, but then they actually don't put the effort in working for it. Then I keep waiting, but I get into some trouble with the management because I keep waiting, because I know sometimes I give them little more time than what it should be, like deadlines are deadlines. I don't do that actually, but I get
So
into trouble with
Kaushik, what's the blind spot here?
blind spot is here. Like I'm
How many
the
students
student,
did you ask the question to?
the whole class I ask actually. I do
Say
customizing for each student.
Say 40 students or 20 students?
Yeah, 20,
20
25,
students.
maximum has been 35 or 25. Yeah,
So 20
a
to 25 students, you asked, what do you want to do?
yeah.
Out of 20 to 25, how many answered you?
Uh,
2,
five will
3,
5 to 10 will answer, but the rest
5
of
will
them
give
will
you ideas, 10 will give
Yeah.
ideas, 15 have
Yeah.
not even spoken.
they don't speak. Some of them don't open their mouth,
They don't open.
but they eventually they open up. Actually, I just go to them and then ask them.
Hold on. Kaushik.
Yeah.
I'm saying you still don't know what they need.
Yeah, no.
You still don't know what they need you for.
Yeah. Because I have a
Because you
syllabus.
never
to
asked
cover.
them. You
I
asked
want
them, they never said anything, and you just decide in your head, I am a champion teacher, मैं hero हूँ, मैं जाके पढ़ा दूंगा, हो जाएगा.
अरे
मैं नहीं कह रहा हूँ आप,
मैं तो अपने आप को उल्लू समझता तो उनको कैसे पढ़ाऊंगा?
मैं नहीं बोल रहा आप अपने आप को उल्लू समझो, पर
I
आप
don't
अपने
feel
आप को हीरो भी मत समझो.
No, I am also learning. See, I usually sometimes tell them, see, if you learn from me, if you don't learn from me, I learn from you.
Let's stay with the distinction. Yeah, this is
Hmm.
all downloading. Our
They are also from
judgment
Google.
about them, it's all downloading. All the stuff that's coming from their head is also part of their downloading.
Yeah, Google से निकालते हैं.
थोड़ा सा और patience is needed when you are looking at your stakeholders, especially one-on-one. Really get to know what they need, so that there is a world, and get another person's world, and get another person's world, and get deep into it. Be more curious, more compassionate, more courageous. Get to understand their whole world. Otherwise, it's just I ask a question and it's enough. No, it's not enough. One question is not enough.
No, I
Two
have
is
to
not
build
enough.
on. I have to build on that.
Many,
Not just
many. Go deep. Really go deep. Yeah. Great, Kaushik. Jyoti. You're on mute. You're on mute, Jyoti. You're on mute.
Yes, Vivek, I wanted to share something, but somehow I'm at a stake this side. My family, children are living out of station. So I'm taking your permission to move out of the session.
Oh, yeah. Okay, fine.
But I had to share something very nice. It was with a teacher. As a professor, I was teaching to students and on the project report. Can I put it on the WhatsApp group of us?
Yeah, please. Please share
Please.
in the
Thank you
WhatsApp.
so much, sir. So
Absolutely.
good night. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
good night. Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah. So we were here. What is your voice of judgment? What is your voice of cynicism? What is your voice of fear about
Please,
your customer? What is your voice of judgment, cynicism, fear about your customers? And it's okay to share it.
Yeah. Regarding the same case, the student, I feel they are coming here only for the certificate, not to learn anything. That's a judgment I have.
Yeah. Students study for certificates, for pass marks.
Hmm.
Yeah. They don't want to learn.
Yeah, even I teach. For me, I don't ask because if they ask something which I may not provide also.
Very good. They may ask you questions which you do not have answers to. Very good.
Yeah.
The fear is there.
Maybe.
Kaushik, that is good cynicism. Huh?
Yeah.
That's a good cynicism. Very good cynicism. And I
given
understand that. I understand that. I mean, when I realized that to become an IAS officer, you are trained to get 55% marks. Then only will you be in the top 10. So I understood then that these students who are being trained to get 55% marks only.
Yeah.
They are not studying to those subjects so that they are experts in the subject. They're studying to be able to score 55 in the exam. And this is IAS of India for the last 50 years. So I understand the cynicism.
And
It's natural.
And for me, I manipulate. I tell them, like, you ask question, I may answer now. If I don't know, I'll answer later. But I'll tell this and I listen. But inside always that fear is going on. If I don't do what to do, that is it.
And you look at more and more stakeholders, customers, you will find the bigger ones like Soumya and all those people you want to speak to of organizations. You want to talk to Ravi. You will have many fears about that.
Yeah.
Many cynicisms. About yourself, you are cynical. About them, you are cynical.
Yeah.
About the past, you are cynical. About the future, you are cynical. So
At present also I have, when I'm speaking with you now, a lot.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So what to do? So in the leadership course, we introduced you to what are two tools you could use. One tool we introduced you was empathy walk. Actually go and talk to people and do empathy walks, which is just pure empathy walks, just to understand their world, to develop empathy, right? And establish relationships. Why is that important? Why do you need to establish relationship?
So that you can get in other person's world much better.
Yeah.
Understand their fears, their cynicism, as you said, what happens in their mind. Unless you address their downloads, they will not open up to you. Like Kaushik said, right?
But that's the second step. I'm not even going to there. That's still one step away. Come back, just empathy. Just create a relationship. Right now, between you and your customer, how wide is the gap? How is the relationship? Are you partners? Is there a relationship of trust? Does your customer trust you? Do you trust them? Do you know them? Do they know you? Is there a connection?
Yeah.
I can go to stakeholder interview straight away, but I don't want to go there. I'm only asking you, look at your people who you want to establish and make your customers and have successful relationships with those customers. Before that, establish relationship first. And how much of your judgment, cynicism, fear now you need to let go of just to establish relationship. And by the way, all that stuff that you're afraid of, it's all superstition. It's all downloading. It's all stories. It's all just noise in your head. It's not out in the world. It's not real. Nobody's doing all that to you in the world. It's all happening in your head. Ravi, what are you getting?
Yeah. In fact, there's a customer I'm talking to, and the progress is pretty slow in terms of fulfilling their demands. And today we had a review. What came up for me is these guys will not support me. They have other options. Who will do? Why they should come to me? All those things came in. But when I kept all that aside and just let them open and talk, then they were telling that giving ideas in terms of how do you get yourself empaneled, what you should do. Immediately, the customer himself sent a mail to their team to fasten the process. So all that thing happened. I was just thinking that why we had to wait for almost 3 weeks before this meeting could have happened. Because in my internal thing is I have done some 2-3 years back, and he's a guy who I know, and he was so sarcastic. That came into the picture actually. Hello. So when I so whenever even my founder, he himself sent a mail to him, or my other partner, he tried to call him. They all work together in Wipro, and no response. So all those things came in, saying that if you're not responding to him, he will not respond to me. He will not support me. But in that meeting, it was surprising that he was much more opening, willing to support and all that. So that is one thing which came out. So that is what I'm seeing actually. So all these are in our own heads actually, which is stopping to take it forward. So
Judgment, cynicism, fear.
Yeah.
Right. And then one of the accesses, the tools you have is empathy. Walk. Just establish relationship first. Don't go with an agenda to fix the problem. First, establish relationship with people. Find out what is going on with them. What do they need? Get related. There are so many people you are not connected to fully. You can't talk business with them.
Yeah. Yeah, very true.
Right? There are so many people you are connected. Your relationship isn't right now ready for customer conversations. First, establish relationships. Right? Your customer needs that from you to be comfortable, to be able to tell you what their need is, what they're suffering, what are their struggles, whatever is important to them. You want to know by empathy. Yeah. And then the next step after that, and we've got 20 minutes to go, so I'm just taking you a little quicker, is get into a stakeholder interview. A stakeholder interview. What do my stakeholders want from me? What do they need me for? I want to know what they see me, how they see me, what do they need from me? We're still in the whole world of observation. If you look at this, this is the left side of the U. We're still in the world of observe, observe, observe. What do the customers need me for? You must get into the stakeholder interview after that. Okay? So there is a sequence that needs to be followed. We started off today's session by identifying step 1. Please read this, Ravi.
So identify the stakeholders who are relevant to your current situation or challenge or opportunity. Right. Define, revise.
Who are relevant? Just stop there, stop there, stop there. So what are the questions you have to answer here? What is my current situation? What is my challenge? What is my opportunity? You've got to identify that question first. What is your opportunity? What is your challenge? What is it that you want?
Right.
I want to get my business doing X, Y, Z. I want to achieve this, this, this. There's something you want to achieve, right?
Right.
Based on that, you now look at the next thing, and that is who are the stakeholders who can help me achieve that? So I like you to guys to make a note. You will not remember this, okay? You will not remember this. You want to actually do this work. Actually sit down and write down what is it that's my challenge, what is my opportunity, what is my commitment, what is my situation? Who are the stakeholders who can help me here?
Yeah, what I'm getting is, though we have a big list of stakeholders, I mean, big list of customers you would like to talk to and all that. But
Yes.
if you say identify them as stakeholders, means then you need to prioritize, because even if you have 200, 300 of them, but identifying the top 20 who will give 80% of your business, that's very key.
Yes.
And
Very
my
important.
challenge is how do I prioritize? Because you never know unless you talk to them. Yeah. So which
But
means
write them down first. At least do that work, no? Write that down. Start writing the names of the stakeholders. Then pick up the 2 of them or 3 of them that you feel that you can speak to this week and speak to them this week. You can't speak to all 20 of them this week. Just 5 days ago, I made a list of soonicorns. You heard of unicorns?
yeah.
I made a list of soonicorns.
Yes.
Soon to become unicorns.
Okay.
I've got one list there. Now, when I look at the list, I go mad. I don't know what to do. It takes time. What's the process? I have to follow a process. I opened the first, just took the first unicorn and looked at, is there anybody in this company who I know somebody who knows somebody in that company. I went on LinkedIn, I did a search of people who are in this company. And first company, I found somebody who's the learning and development head. Then in that learning and development head, I saw who are mutual connections. Then I found 2 people who are mutual connections. Then I asked my wife, I said, this one is your friend, yeah. So he said, she doesn't do anything. She's a useless person. So what to do? I said, okay, then we try the other fellow. We tried the other fellow. He said, I contacted her. He's setting up a meeting. What will be in the first meeting? First meeting is empathy walk. Right? Second meeting, or at the end of the first meeting, will be stakeholder interview. What is their objective? What do they need? And when they know what we do, then they'll tell you, okay, this is what you do, this is what we need. And then you can get engaged. Very important to identify the stakeholder. Read the next slide. Somebody read the second line. Define,
revise questions to adjust to the specific context.
Yeah. Like, what are the questions you want to ask the stakeholder? We are giving you 3 questions from the U theory. You prepare yourself. What are the questions you want to ask them? Prepare your questions. Then, schedule appointments. And then decide whether you are sending the questions before or you're going to ask them impromptu. If you send them before, they are prepared. So think about it. We're not telling you what to do. We're telling you, you decide whether you should send the questions before or you should send them a little later. or when you meet them. Step 2, before you meet the interview, allow for some quiet preparation or silence. Prior to any interview, you must relax. You must relax. You can't go into it scared. You can't go into it agitated. You got to breathe and relax your mind and anticipate the conversation with an open mind and open heart. You getting that, Veena? Ravi?
Yeah, Vivek.
Yeah.
Kaushik? Om, all of you, it's making sense? And
Yeah.
then,
Yes,
when you are doing
yes.
the interview, listen with your mind and heart wide open. And take notes. Write down what they're saying. Repeat to them, this is what you said, I'm just making a note. This is what you said, I'm just making a note. So that they know that you're listening. That you're listening with an open mind and an open heart. And then, of course, you follow the process that we've told you, which is, what is your most important objective and how can I help you realize it? The question, what does your customer need you for? Well, ask your customer. Hey, customer, what is your most important objective? And how can I help you? Suppose you want to hire somebody in your company. What is your most important objective by joining a company? How can this company help you realize that objective? If you're speaking to your partner, what is that partner's objective and how can you help your partner realize that objective as your team? What does your customer need you for? The most important question number 1. Even if you didn't do question 2 and 3, just stay with question 1. Question 1 is 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes work. What is your most important objective and how can I help you realize that? So, what are you getting in this conversation? What's opened up? What's there? Om, would you like to share? Vipin, Usha, Ravi, of course, Veena, Baswa. Go ahead. Who would like to share?
Right. What I present is like when I'm not related with them as a customer, for example, my team or my staff. So I'm not often or I'm not using this kind of question with them or methodology with them. So what I present now, actually, every of my stakeholder, even my staff or junior staff, I can use this methodology and all the stakeholder interview with them as well, from as often that I can. So
Yes.
I can like put myself in their shoes and knowing what they want. Yeah, this is what I got.
Fabulous. And design your own questions.
All right.
You don't
Yeah.
have to be stuck with these 3 questions.
Yeah.
You can make
right.
your own. What would be appropriate to ask this person?
Yes, what I foresee is like just flow with the conversation. No need to like step 1, step 2, and step 3, and this is question 1, question 2, and question 3. Just like flow with the conversation and keep inquiry from the conversation they share with me. Yeah.
Yes. Remember, human beings, 21st century, everybody is transacting with you.
Transacting. Okay.
There is no deep connection.
All right. Yeah. I got that.
You are the people who are the leaders for the future. Because tomorrow's future needs leaders who connect
Mm.
and who create leaders who connect.
Mm.
Not only you connect with them, they also learn to connect with their people. right? Otherwise, it's surface transaction. Go deep. Whenever you are asking questions, open mind, open heart questions, go deep. Take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Like I
Yeah.
am always in a hurry.
Yeah, that's what the problem as well, because I almost hurry.
I understand. I
All
understand.
right.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Om. Yes, somebody else would like to share. What is it that you are seeing in this conversation?
What came up for me is my coach is also my customer. We have a queue.
Yeah,
So I never asked you.
yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Yes, someone else?
And what I saw is just an empathy walk to build a relationship, right? I never thought of that. Before having a conversation, we just directly get into a meeting and get the transaction done. And it was more, as you said, right? It was more transactional. Oh, I have 30 minutes, I have 1 hour, whatever it is. Slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, chuck, chuck. Get their points, get their views, and going on. So what I'm seeing is sometimes I do get into their world and their shoe. Some of them open up, many of them don't. As Kaushik said, right? They'll all keep to themselves. So this customer who I was talking today, my previous experiences, one with his boss, he was quiet. I thought, okay, maybe he's like that. Then second, he was alone with another colleague of him. When I asked him, let's exchange phone numbers. Why do you want phone number? You have my email ID. I don't want people to call me and disturb me. So this is the first time I got a reply saying that I don't want to share your share my phone number. Fine. And then I realized that there are people like that also. Then he says, you have LinkedIn, you have this thing, you send message. So I think what is important is
Yeah, see, he has a fear that you may then irritate him,
make many
right?
calls.
The trust is still not there.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
It's a transactional relationship.
Right.
You'll never get to know what the customer needs you for, neither will he get to know what you need him for.
Right.
The
And
empathy
still
work
I'm
is,
not able to establish the way the way for him to open up, one. Second one is, what is the thing which will be comfortable for him? So then when I said that I don't, whenever I ask him when you have time, nothing happens. Then one of my partners said, send a meeting invite, let's see what happens. He accepted. Then I was wondering, oh, there are people who, see, typically my habit is, I always ask the people, or this is fine, and then I'll send a meeting invite. So here it is ulta. So which means if he accepts, well and good. If he not, he will say reply, okay, fine. So that gave me a new access actually. For many customers, I used to always wait. That was always my downloading. I don't know. So this is a new insight which I got, saying that, okay, there are some people who are like this. There was another customer.
and you could call Ravi, you could call just to connect and find out what they need and what are their challenges.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not selling anything. All you want to know is what are his challenges. Let him rant, let him vent, let him vomit, let him share, let him say what is it that he's dealing with, what's important to him, what are his future objectives, what are his desires, what are he struggling with. Let him open his mouth and share, and you spend half an hour just letting them talk, and you only ask one question, then one question, then one question.
Sorry,
when you got
what is that one
then
question?
one question, what else? Say something more, share more, please tell us more. Have a meeting which is just empathy. You are not selling anything in that meeting.
Just getting his word.
Yes. Then set up the next meeting. Say, in the next meeting, I want to ask you some more questions. And in that meeting, I'll tell you what we do. And after that, you tell me, given what we do, what is it that you need from us?
Yeah.
Then you can have the second meeting.
Yeah.
What we do is we want to sell right now, right? Then we make presentations. And then we beat up people with our presentations. And we go on and on and on and on and on. Nobody is listening.
Yeah.
Nobody is sold with a presentation. If you sell anything, you will actually listen to them. They hear you. They hear that you are actually giving them what they need. That's what the presentation doesn't say all that. Presentation is a distraction. If it's got too many slides, etc.
Yeah.
But empathy, create the empathy first.
That's what
Whether
I
you
saw.
walk or you talk or you sit, but you create the relationship first. For you to know what the customer needs you for, create the relationship first.
And with this COVID coming in, it's all online. And
Yes.
you don't even understand what is his body reaction, his body signs are.
Yes.
And,
And then they keep themselves hidden behind veils also. They don't even put on the camera also. I've spoken to people in so many organizations, HR heads, learning heads, they have all the videos off. And so we say, listen, who am I talking to? I mean, no, I'm uncomfortable to put on the video. So this is the world. So really, it's important to get the empathy first before we talk about sales. So I'm not interested in selling anything to you. Then why are you talking to me? I want to know what your need is. I need to know what your objectives are. I need to know what is important to you. I need to know what your challenges are. Get to know their world. Go deep. Don't sell quickly. Yeah. Same with you, Veena. Don't sell quickly. I want a job. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be in a hurry for anything. Very good. Anybody else? Last chance. It's 2 minutes to 1 minute to go.
Actually, I had no curiosity and compassion about the interviews. Only judgment and cynicism. They only want more salary. Apart from that, nothing they want. So I had disappointment many times also. They come and they go and they won't say whether they come or not. And this is one more like that I used to feel because I have interviewed hundreds of people. Now I realize my fault. I had no empathy or open heart and get their word, what is their financial position and things like that. I realize now what it is all about.
Great. Great, Baswa. So thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed your session. Please share in the alumni group what you are taking on in terms of actions, in terms of whatever you learned in today's call. Share, because there are so many alumni who will be empowered just by your sharing. And if you share, you will recreate for yourself what you're creating. Okay? Otherwise, it will remain a memory in your mind. Share as much as you can. It will make a big difference. It will contribute to everybody. Thank you so much, guys.
All right.
Hope your alumni.
Thank you all. Thank you,
Thank you,
Vivek.
Manoj. Thank you, everyone.
See you next month on Friday.
Thank you.
Bye. Good night.